Hopefully everybody can hear me again. This GoPro, the battery died, so got a fresh one put into it. I'm back down on the south end here. I don't know exactly when it died on my last pass there, but I knew it was getting close on my battery. So I am going to go again and keep continuing here. There's not very much metal in this cab, otherwise I'd put you in a different spot. I have the buddy seat and it has a pretty good piece of metal right there. That's about the only good spot. These newer tractors, even though this one's basically 30 years old now, I got to where there being a lot of plastic in the cab just because it was cheap and easy to manufacture. So haven't been very talkative. Of course, having you guys outside, that don't help either. So basically getting to the point where I've met my 4 rounds around the outside here. So that leaves a little triangle back there. And got this ditch right here. It's not very fun to cross. I haven't been around. It ain't the smooth riding stuff, especially in a tractor that has no suspension. A lot of the banging in this cab is because this exhaust horn that comes from the motor out up to the side of the cab is broke. So the exhaust stack that is there is just beating around on the cab. I attempted to wire it there in the spring just to alleviate some of it, but it was a whole lot worse than what it is now. So hopefully that's gonna get fixed here before too long. Running about 6 miles an hour. Of course, in this thing, there's no sense in having it full throttle, so just kind of mid-throttle, 1700 RPMs, and 12 gear. For particulars, for those that didn't know, this drill is 15 foot wide. So approximately about 9 acres an hour is what we can get done being 15 foot wide and going 6 miles an hour. With the combine, we're going basically half that, and basically these long passes in here that are going north and south in here, because I'm going diagonal. Basically we're doing a pass and basically a half and having a combine load full. So whoever is running grain cart was on the move. This patch here that I am working in is 87 acres. There's also basically one acre patches on the other side of the pond over here. The first patch that you see right over here, just on the other side of the pond, if the camera's doing it any good anyways, that done the best. The next patch that goes back in there is a nice little deer cove, and it didn't do so hot. The deer had gotten into it pretty good. Last time that I stopped to stretch my legs and whatnot, up here at the north end, I was already at 13 acres. So if Zach goes for a little while this evening, he'll probably get the majority of this thing knocked out. So hopefully by the time the rain comes, majority of this, or if not all of this field, will be done. And then he's got 24 acres up north, what he calls the Weld Shop and Conway. This is the North 90 is what it's called, or at least that's what he's been referring it to. You know, farmers, they come up with some real relative names for their places, like what we did, like anybody else. We got Bits, Rock House, the Home Place, and 120, the 40, the 70. I mean, it's whatever you can come up with at the time, and it just kind of stuck. Work my way back up to 12. I usually keep it around 1700 RPMs. A little bit lower than that right now, but there is a few ditches here and there going across, like what I just went through. Kind of hard to see in all these corn stalks, hence why we're going like crossways across them. So we're laying them over one way or the other, and you can somewhat see a mark. You're not digging up any black dirt, which right now it's kind of hard to do that because it's so dry. So all you're digging at is powder if you're getting to some dirt. So you basically make a line across, and what you've already went over, you're laying flat, so you kind of have an idea where you're at. I reference off of the pillar of the cab over here on the distance that I need to be back here, which sometimes I drive wide, sometimes I drive narrow. With it being a cover crop, it's not quite so crucial. But for instance, like corn or soybeans, you want to be more precise about it, because overlap is considered waste, or it just makes the guy that's running the combine when it's corn just have a headache, like we had this year with replant being right in here. Kind of had to do what you had to do, so it kind of, Zach had done the replant, so he kind of was running the combine and kind of got lost out in here as to what he did. But usually, typically with corn, you want long straight rows. You don't want to turn with the combine, because with the snouts you will lay over corn, which happens a lot, especially if you turn very sharp. Or like what we had this year, we had problems with snouts. The bracing, to be able to hold them in place, was breaking. And part of it's probably because we're turning so much, putting more stress on those snouts. And of course it was the end ones that we're having trouble with. Here's our ditch again. And this is where my 4 rounds are. I'm actually going, I will actually turn around instead of finishing out my small triangle there. I'm just gonna continue on some long rows to get more acres in quicker that way, instead of doing a bunch of lifting and turning. Back down again. Marker. Sorry for the terrible camera job, but it's kind of hard to operate a machine one-handed. I'm kind of curious as to who's watching this one now. Put down in the comment section of who you are, or say hi. Doesn't matter to me. Kind of curious to see who's watching. Doesn't even know it's there. surprised with it blowing as hard as it is outside that it ain't blowing up more trash behind the drill. We're in a wind advisory until I believe 9 or 6 o'clock tonight. I don't remember which I seen there. And then we're in a wind advisory again tomorrow. Of course, a burn ban, I'm sure, especially with it being so dry. I've seen a lot of people on YouTube. Well, I say a lot of people. Quite a few people on YouTube where they've had to deal with fire in harvest, which is not cool, especially with it being so dry around harvest time. For us in our area, it is gonna be a record so far for the month of October, having no moisture fall from the sky. So we being Wednesday, it'll be probably not a record after that point, but I'm not totally sure the longest point in October without any moisture for us anyways. So there I'm watching my live stream. Of course, it's way behind. Those that haven't been around a Magnum, all of them are power shift, which by this point in a power shift, they're pretty bulletproof at that point. These boxcar Magnums are pretty well known for their transmissions. Of course, in front of the transmissions, 8.3 Cummins, pretty bulletproof there, because Cummins is well known for a good diesel motor. This one's got 3 SVCVs, or remotes, however you want to call it. Currently have these remotes hooked up backwards compared to what I'm used to. But let's get turned around here and head back northwest. Jason, how far away are people away from being done with harvest up there in Iowa? Might take you a little bit to respond, but of guys over here. Jason, we're pretty close to, most of the guys are about 3/4 of the way there, but part of it's, there's still a lot of corn in the field at this point because everybody's full. Of course, grain prices are not helping move that corn that has already come out of the field. Been a few more acres now, quite a few more passes. I'm going to get out and check on things here, make sure things are still where they need to be. Letting go. Keep checking the drill there just to see how much is in it. With only putting 12 pounds to the acre, and it doesn't seem to be going down that much, which seems odd to me because I've helped him do cereal rye, and I mean it was heavier than putting more pounds in the ground at that point. Checking the drill there. just trying to set you guys up on a row there so you can watch the rye go through and down the tube. But my mount limits me to what I can be able to do. Don't mind that. It's just the coolant level that it thinks that it's low, but it's actually not. It's one of those things that it still acts the same. It's not hot, so shoot, with this thing, it's barely getting, it's not even getting to the green. It's just staying at the yellow. If I set you up on the seat level, it would never change. At least very little. I mean, it is going down, but not very much. It was kind of hard to get this thing set up to be able to do cereal rye, as it's more like not a grain per se, it's kind of looks like fescue in the seat. So we done a lot, well, Zach done a lot of research to figure out what people were doing in these 750 John Deere drills, no-till drills, to put on the right poundage for cereal rye, or for annual rye, not cereal rye. So if you look out across here, you can see that we have a few straggler plants. The whole reason why he had to replant this is because the fiberglass top on the planter, he's got a International 9, well, Case International 900, and fiberglass top cracked, and he didn't know it. And I believe I was out here running this spot, and it never come up. So, or at least very few of it did. So he had to go back, I would say almost a month later, to be able to replant all of this. So it made quite a headache when it comes to harvesting it, because you already have corn that's growing elsewhere. So you run out of drive spots. Of course, you can run over corn up to a certain point and it still survives. So it just made it a headache to harvest this out here because there was a lot of point rows, and then trying to figure out where he had taken off with some rows, trying to chase him with the grain cart, because I was running the grain cart at that point. It was quite fun. And of course, the whole time that we're trying to do this, it's dark. Like most of the time that we do things, it seems like it's dark with us working full-time jobs. So I usually get off at 2:30. I come out here directly at after 2:30. Got going for a little while before I started the first live stream. So yeah. For quite a while here. I'm going to call it a quits here. Like I said in the first one, not a video per se for this week, and for the past month I've been helping Zach here, so everything winding down here, I will be getting to a regular video this next week here. So looking forward to that. And like I said before, I filmed corn harvest this year, so you don't want to miss this video that will be coming on corn harvest. And with that, I just want to thank everybody for taking the time to watch. It sure does mean a lot. And as always,